Hi, my name is Bridget Ngobo. In my role as the banking industry manager at Google, I've seen firsthand how financial services brands have tended to shy away from marketing during the period leading up to December, the festive season, otherwise in our world known as the quiet period, and how this tide is slowly starting to turn into the period of opportunity. Today, we'll listen in on how Standard Bank launched and ran a successful full funnel campaign during this period. You'll hear from two members of the Standard Bank Consumer and High Net Worth Group, Lindy Lou Alexandra, Executive Head of Brand and Marketing, and Lesego Ncamu, Executive Head of Digital and Interactive Marketing, as well as Paul Mayanja, Google South Africa's Head of Financial Services. They'll be unpacking 4 key areas of this case study. 1, how to go about landing a marketing message in a quiet period. 2, how to complement digital marketing efforts with the above-the-line marketing. 3, why a full funnel approach was key to achieving the objectives of this particular campaign. And 4, debunking the concept of the quiet period completely. Now, let's listen in.
Let's jump right into it. So, the how about now brand repositioning in Q4 that you did. Tell us a little bit about the objectives of the campaign, what you're trying to attain, the timelines and so on.
So first of all, how about now? A lot of people always ask me, what is that all about, Paul? We believe in generational dreams. So, and we then came up with the how about now purpose and campaign, which is we believe everyone's dreams matter, not next year, not next month, not next week, now. How about now?
Okay.
And that is how the call out came about.
So the timing of the campaign, so it was interesting that it was in the 4th quarter of the year.
Yes.
What can you share with us about that?
It's summer, so that's the end of the year, which is a big retail time, and a lot of financial services don't do big campaigns then. So when we discussed and we said, actually, it's a perfect opportunity for us to actually go to market because we are going to do it differently and we're going to do the full funnel approach. And we've now proven that it does work rather than sitting back and saying, actually, you know, let's do a fast start in the beginning when January and back to school and back to varsity.
I wanted to bring you in here, Lesego.
Sure.
What was important for you from above the line and below the line perspective? What did you want to achieve and how did that go?
So we ensured that we had a rich kind of alignment between our media channels from radio and search. We also found that search and radio work very well together. And then we also had a seeding aspect. Yes. Lindy also was saying, you can't just also come and launch, the how about now? How do you seed it in? Using influencers, have talkability, kind of spark conversations online, and then marry the conversations online with your search terms. Okay. That's also something we did very well, ensuring from a search terminology, whatever ad copy is on radio is also put into our search keyword strategy. And then we also ensured that from a above the line TV and YouTube, there was also synergies.
You have to find the consumer where they are naturally and engage with them there. Okay.
100%.
And can you tell us anything about how you engaged with your agencies when you're talking about above the line, bringing them together? Anything you can share with us there?
The one key kind of opportunity for us that worked well was making sure that our agency partners buy into the vision, and it kind of ignited more ideas. The seeding aspect actually was a last minute idea from agency to say, hey, how do we seed the now? Because we started with now, right? We're like, okay, how do you seed in now conversations versus how about now? Okay. And that was like off the cuff idea that was not planned for.
What was critical from a full funnel marketing perspective to help you achieve that from the internet perspective?
So what was critical for us is translating what painting the town blue is, right? There's the one mandate that Lindy gave, but most integral is how does that deliver from a full funnel experience? So from an awareness perspective, what conversations are you igniting in painting the town blue, and what channel mix do you have? And then from a searchability perspective, we also found that if you are there when customers are looking for you at that period of seeding, you've seeded, people are going now versus now, what is now, how about now, Standard Bank, what happens there? It's important to be there when customers are searching for you online. And we found that just from an awareness perspective, in the approach we took, we found that there was an over 140% increase in our search volume from a unique reach perspective. And from a True View for Action perspective, again, because we had a lot of video assets, we saw a 9% increase in our click-through rate to our digital channels.
Yeah.
That is unheard of because, first of all, against our peers, it was never heard of for Standard Bank to be like having such a high click-through rate with an over kind of 200% higher clicks. So meaning customers were looking to go to our digital platforms to know about our products and to get our online kind of e-com products and services. So all in all, the great interaction is how do you leverage awareness, engagement, and action to tell the story for a customer, but most importantly, how are you there in the festive season and I'm looking for you?
Is this something you would think you'd do again? Do you see there being a lot more activity in Q4 moving forward? Just some thoughts around that.
No, as I said, so you test and learn, and now we've tested and we've demonstrated a new cycle. So, you know, in other industries like FMCG, there's the peak cycles and the off cycles because it's winter.
Yeah.
So we've just created a new cycle, and to marketeers out there, particularly traditional marketeers, we saw 7% brand lift.
7%.
So, and that is phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Because actually we always it's all about bottom of the funnel with e-commerce, but this showed overall that our brand love and brand lift was also impacted. So I would definitely recommend that everyone exploits an opportunity like this.
That's fantastic. So just any advice as a maybe a parting shot for brands that are thinking about getting involved in Q4 or have not really used a full funnel digital marketing approach and strategy. Any thoughts around that as they are on the sidelines and thinking, maybe we do this, should we do this?
So if you're not doing it, then I've got to be asking why you snoozing. Because actually platform era is here, things are changing. So people need to get onto the wave and start test and learning. And there's no better partner than Google themselves to take you on the journey. We all explore and we all learn. So,
Eseko, any thoughts?
I mean, on our end, content is still king. So it's all fine and well to have the best channel mix in the world, but if you don't have the right content for the channel, you also are shooting yourself in the foot. They must make sure that there is a plan to the content strategy. Equally so, your channel mix matters.
And collaborate. Collaborate with great partners like Google.
Thank you so much for the partnership. It's been fantastic working with you and your teams. To hear the great results has been amazing. And thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Lesego. It's so good to have you here today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about digital marketing transformation. It's always such a great topic to talk to you about.
My favorite topic.
Exactly. I don't know if I've met anyone with as much passion for it as you. So today we're going to get into the meat of why there is so much passion. So let's get right into it. So my first question to you is, what business challenges were you trying to solve by embarking on this digital marketing transformation journey with Google?
Sure. Critical to when you're starting a role to head up digital marketing, it's important to understand what do you have in your toolbox? What are your various business challenges? And I think the one thing that we always kind of misinterpret with digital is there is digital in the form of a digitization of a business, but then there are various aspects of digital marketing that you kind of need to curate and hone in and make sure that they all kind of talk to each other. So what was a big critical thing for myself and for my understanding is to understand my current environment. What do I have and what don't I have? What do I have to improve? And then what should we let go or stop? I think there's also an important question when you're trying to create a digital maturity journey to understand what do you have access to and what you may need to stop. So the one big challenge was, how is the current environment that we're working with from a bank perspective? What partners and kind of levers do we have to pull into? And then how do you put it all together to create a benchmark and a shared vision amongst your executive team, your digital team, your agency partners, and all other partners around? So the one key challenge for us is how do you collaborate and create a shared vision around what is a digital maturity kind of roadmap for the business?
Amazing. I mean, this is exactly why I love digital marketing transformation, because I think it gets everybody to sing off the same hymn sheet. So it's really nice to have somebody else say it for a change and not me. And I guess that my next question is really around the value that you've seen this journey kind of give to you already. What would you say some of those pieces are? I mean, you were very clear around what it is you were trying to achieve, which is this shared vision. And I know you're in the early stages of this journey, but what are the pieces of value that you've already started to see?
The values and the knowledge. I think we underestimate the importance of intellectual property of what you are working within. So what we found that there was a lot of things we were not aware of that was happening in other business lines that we had to bring in. We also found that there were key capabilities that marketing needed to leverage from that were not within marketing, but were in other business streams. So the biggest value for me is, apart from the shared vision between our executive sponsors and ourselves and our execution team, was what is that one thing that we wanted to achieve and prioritize it as one. And to intellectual property, and I know there's always criticism about outsourcing thinking. In this process, we were thinking together as a bank and as a team, and we're owning the solution and we're owning the priorities thereof. So for me, the biggest kind of value for us was the intellectual property that it came with, and understanding our weaknesses, our strengths, our key opportunities, and then sharing what are we prioritizing. What is customer match? What is it going to do for me today? How do I prioritize that? What are assets that we're doing well? What agency partnerships do we need to improve? And we found that it even kind of created a bridge between our creative and our media agencies to say, can we now speak of the same hymn? Optimization. We also had a shared definition of optimization. And it kind of helped create that shared understanding of what do we define as optimization from a creative and a media perspective? What do you define in terms of customer match? What do you want out of it? So the biggest value was in the shared meaning and understanding between our agency partners, us as a bank, our executive sponsors, and then also, like I said, agreeing on what is your first 6 months, what is your first 12 months, what is your 18 months, and it doesn't go for 12 months actually. We designed it in such a way that it also kind of helps pay for the next 5 years what we need to have right. And it kind of gives it more value. It's not a once-off solution at all. It's a journey. It's a roadmap.
Exactly. This is why they call it a digital marketing transformation journey, right?
100%.
Other than not just like a once-off kind of intervention that happens between the media agencies, yourselves, and Google, but actually a transformation journey. What I thought was beautiful about your journey was really the way that you brought in other media partners as well. You used digital marketing transformation as a framework to think about what you were doing throughout your ecosystem. And that's really one of the best ways to leverage this whole transformation journey. So I thought that that was really well done. The one last thing that I want to ask you, Lesego, is what do you think the value of ROI or impact around effectiveness will look like? I know you're at the very beginning stages of this journey and we don't really know, but what you've articulated so beautifully is that the objective was a shared vision, and what it's given you so far already like 6 months into this is shared meaning. So you've gone from a shared vision that is married to your business objectives, shared meaning that you've gotten through being in the process. What do you think this will actually translate into for a return on investment and media efficiencies?
So from a return on investment perspective, I find it, or I see it as twofold, right? There is from a structural perspective, how are you structuring yourselves to be future ready? How are you structuring yourself to be efficient? And here is where we took the low-hanging fruits that needed to be done today to get right now, like linking our search console and our ad account, which was an immediate benefit in terms of our click-through rate and our cost in terms of our media ads and search activity. Then there's the technologies that you need to leverage extensively. And again, that talks to then the capabilities that you build. And then there's a layer of the ROI in terms of the attribution models that you now build, right? And I hear you say hallelujah. I think what was key in terms of the current output is the measurement aspect of success, right? What is success of a campaign and understanding? ROI in digital marketing doesn't always translate to rand, right? Because a customer can click today but convert 10 days later, and it doesn't mean that you've lost the customer. So from a measurement perspective, we found that it's easy to then say, if the challenge is attribution at a conversion level, what do we deem as conversion? And is that conversion the same? Does it translate to business value? What is the lead to sale conversion rate? And then you start looking at what capabilities do I have within my analytics team to build the capabilities. And that's the one big value that we also found in terms of we brought in the dev teams to kind of help us create this attribution model. We kind of brought in our digital marketing analytics team, our media teams to then say, agree on a measurement framework that makes sense for you. And then start measuring for success. And again, you put that in another roadmap of this is what we're reporting and have truth now, and then how do you then make it more robust in terms of our attribution model. And I think for me, that was one key value in saying from an ROI perspective, there are efficiencies in terms of being relevant and future ready as a team. And then there are efficiencies in terms of what am I currently running now to support my business sales and leads objectives, and how do we leverage that? So hey man, it's a journey, Bridget. But for me, I really found it very valuable to understand my environment and kind of contribute to build the building blocks and scale.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Lesego, for your time and for just taking a minute to reflect with us on where your journey's been so far. I think what you've managed to articulate is the value that you're able to get now from the digital marketing transformation journey and the value that you're seeing coming down the line. You know, really being able to work with multiple media partners using this framework, really using multiple platform partners to work with this framework. I think you have just been an exemplary sort of candidate for walking through digital marketing transformation and to help your organization walk through it as well. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
and we
Bridget.
really appreciate it. Thank you. So here's what we've learned. 3 things. 1, keep your finger on the pulse of consumer behavior. Just because financial services brands have historically decreased in digital marketing activity does not mean consumers stop looking for helpful products over the holiday period. 2, use the full funnel approach. Forget the line. The consumer journey is messy. Marrying your above the line and digital activity using a full funnel approach allows you to meet the consumers where they are at any time in the year. And 3, leverage your marketing ecosystem. Working together with your media and creative agencies, as well as your strategic partners, to achieve a clear and audacious goal can create magic. And that's how Standard Bank redefined what marketing means during the quiet period. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can catch all the latest insights. Give the video a like if you learned something new. Thanks for watching. See you next time.